All right. As you guys see the title, you feel me? We're going to be literally listening live to the VP community space. All right. So let's head over to their Twitter right now. So I know we're a bit late, but they're talking about a few cool things. I just shared it. Shout out, follow my Twitter. Let's go ahead and start listening. So we got the CEO, we got everybody here. We got everybody talking about some of the new, changes and all of that good stuff. Let's go ahead and join this space and pay attention.
Seen the floor plan and it looks amazing. We're right next to Medicom as well as Mondo and some other heavy hitters. So please visit vv.me/giveaways and enter for your chance to win a VIP pass. That VIP pass includes Friday night VIP party access, as well as all 3 days of DesignerCon general floor. So, Trevor, myself, Reese, Noah, we'll all be there, and we'd love to meet you.
Absolutely,
Crazy.
we would. And just touching on that giveaways URL that you just provided, is that we'll be using that universally now for these kind of sweepstakes?
Yes, so it is the same URL that you probably entered for your chance to win an Edo. Congratulations to those winners, by the way. Those have all been delivered.
I tried for the Edo and never won it.
We're excited to announce that we are going to be doing ongoing giveaways. So, whether it's, 2-3 times a month, or it depends on, what else we have going on, but we're going to try to make sure that we're giving a little something back, a little something.
Absolutely. Everybody loves free stuff. So
I know I do.
Yeah, that's it. And while we've got you, Alex, do you want to maybe just give people some drop information? We obviously have Halloween weekend coming up, which is
yes, sir.
So
let's
2
go.
drops tomorrow. Really excited about these. As David mentioned at the top of the AMA, we have 2 Marvel Studios What If themed drops. One, Zombie Hunter Spider-Man,
yes,
who is rocking the Cloak of Levitation, Doctor Strange's Cloak of Levitation. If you haven't seen the episode, I won't spoil it, but some stuff goes sideways, and unfortunately, the Sentinel of Liberty has been infected and has become a zombie, and poor Cap has to go up against his friend and teammate Spidey, who is now basically the last Avenger. So we have 2 of those statues for each of those characters in blind box format. Zombie Hunter Spider-Man drops at 8 a.m. Pacific, and Zombie Captain America drops at noon Pacific.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And I might just chime in with one of the pre-submitted questions here, just to get some insight. It's well timed there. Senator Palpy wants to know, why does Zombie Hunter Spider-Man have an FA tag when it's just Peter Parker in a different costume? So, just want some more definitive information about when we use the FA tag, what that applies to.
Let's go.
Those kind of things.
So exciting.
Dan, you on me?
Dave, you want to tackle that one?
Yeah, sure. So just so everyone understands, it is the first appearance of this character, and we do understand that Spider-Man has been out. That was the comic version, and definitely this is the Marvel Studio What If version. It's number one is a complete, different series. It has a Doctor Strange coat on it, etc. And we have a massive plan with these Marvel Studio and other studio IPs coming out, and we do have other series will be rolling out as part of this whole franchise.
Mm-hmm. So what? Obviously, as the name would suggest, it's the first appearance of this character. So really the differentiator is, and I think this was hard for me to understand originally, when I think Marvel, I just think all of it counts as Marvel. So one Spider-Man is one Spider-Man. But there's actually almost countless story arcs, and whether it was comics or shows or this thing or that
and
thing.
Multiverses as well.
And multiverses.
Different universes, yeah.
True.
Yes. So really it is a standalone character, and that's what grants us that first appearance.
Yeah, definitely. And also, I think... you guys do want to keep your eye out on the screen. I think my last AMA, I mentioned, we are going to try to bring one other characters or one other item in Veve will be animated, and that item will come to a life. So we hope everyone enjoy that, and it's just part of the whole learning process. And and we'll be giving out more clues in coming weeks or months of what this whole thing we're doing is all about, and turning things alive. For me and Dan, it's very important that the collectible had utility value outside of being just what we do them in the showroom or post them in AR. We want to start adding layers to them and really tell the story behind these brands that we're bringing alive.
That's very, very smart.
David, I have a question.
Very smart.
On that. Are you aware, since you first mentioned that in a Twitter space some odd weeks ago, of just the amount of wild speculation that you've caused in the community? And the second part to that is, do you feel bad about that at all?
Yeah. I think that I feel bad for Dan.
Thanks, Dave. It's nice to hear it from your lips.
It's like, what? I mean, it's not in my calendar. I mean, where's the asset? Who's making this? I mean, it's not in the pipeline. No one knows about it. So I think there was a team, had to get to work straight away. And this one is quite different, and it's going to be more fun. There's a lot of things being put into it and thoughts on this one. So I hope you guys had fun on it. Yeah, and I am sorry.
And we believe it. We truly believe it.
You're just like, oh well.
You sound so.
So much conviction.
Hey, so I know we have a lot to get to today, obviously, still. There's going to be a fair amount of questions about MCP, OUP. But I do want to get quickly to a couple of special guests before we kind of get into the meat in that, before we lose them. So, that being said, let's give a big warm welcome to dear old Uncle Jeremy.
Uncle Jeremy.
Let's
My
go.
brother Jeremy.
Uncle Jeremy.
Uncle Jeremy's here, everyone. Thank you.
Let's go.
Welcome.
It's like everybody's here today. It's crazy.
I'm good. No, I just listened. It's. I just wanted to say to this team, well done, Reese, Noah, Alex, Trevor, Dan,
Period.
David. Congratulations. You've achieved something that is absolutely unprecedented. Achieving the entire Disney Plus portfolio,
Crazy.
inclusive of Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, Princess, Disney Plus. It's a spectacular move. It is truly an unprecedented move. I mean, as you guys know, what I do. Uncle Jeremy makes toys, Pokemon, Fortnite, Roblox. But you may not know, we're also a partner for Marvel. We took over the costumes business this year. We're about to announce a bunch more within the Disney portfolio. But I don't know if people understand contextually how high of an achievement it is to accomplish that. So you go look in any category, whether it's toys, collectibles, bedding, apparel, socks, shoes, whatever it may be. I defy you to find another partner that's got the entire portfolio. It's a very, very powerful move, and I just wanted to tell you guys how sincerely thrilled I am for you as a friend and as a holder of OMI. I'm also quite spectacularly satisfied with this move.
Awesome.
Spectacularly satisfied.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm old.
It happens.
Not as old as we feel after this week.
Well, it always looks easy when someone's executing at a high level. But behind the scenes, what you've all had to accomplish in a short period of time is nothing short of spectacular.
Thank you so much, Jeremy.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming up. I know we always like to get you up on stage when we can, but definitely wanted to say hello.
Thank you. feel free to toss me back into the audience because I'm just enjoying this very much. But if you see any value in having me up here, I'll stay for a while.
Yeah, sure. I'd actually love to have you chomp. What would you call it? Chin wag, as OBL calls it, a bit here.
Anytime.
Yeah, we brought up another, well-known community member as of late.
Dude,
definitely has dipped his toes in, and we've seen him all on videos, and the community is definitely happy to have him part of the Veve fam. So let's all say hello to Andre. Hello, Andre.
What's up? How you guys doing?
Andre, how are you?
Good. I love your guys' stuff. Oh my gosh, you guys are awesome.
Thanks, mate.
I have one big question to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
When Pokemon?
Oh man,
You're not allowed to do that when they announce Disney and Disney Plus.
That's true.
100%
That's true. That's
Facts, like, dude.
No, the Disney Plus
Calm
is
down.
incredible. I'm so excited about that. How long are the utility, tokens are going to last, you guys think? Is it like for a limited amount of time, or can we pass on the tokens maybe to our friends who don't have Disney Plus? What do you guys think?
Yes. Great question, Andre. So the deal that we have struck with Disney Plus is that the code is not for resale purpose, obviously, but they are transferable to your friends, family members. You do have to use the mark before the end of this calendar year, so 31st of December, you will have to activate. So it's only available for new subscribers or people who have their subscription just ran out and they can use it as a new subscription. So it's pretty good.
Gotcha.
Yeah, up to end of the year is enough time for those family and friend who wants to join on board.
That's awesome. I've also been trying to get every drop, and I've actually competed against my friend Foster. He also does a lot of Veve and Omi content, and I actually just destroyed him in button mashing, which I'm really proud about. But I can't seem to get a drop. Is there a trick to it, or is there going to be some sort of more of a lottery system in the future, or has that been implemented already?
Gotta be quick.
We are definitely looking at other drop mechanisms. As the audience probably knows, we started off with your standard traditional drop, and then we've added in blind box. And as the company grows and scales, and we're still doing drops of 20,000 collectibles, but when we have 1 million users, that is going to become obviously more competitive. So we are looking at waiting room type systems. However, as I've mentioned in the past, there's a lot of exhilaration around the existing drop model, and I think that is something that we very much want to maintain, regardless of whatever type of system we go to. So, to answer your question, we are looking into those things, but we still want to make sure that we stay true to the fun and excitement and pain that is the drop.
That makes a lot of sense. One last question for you guys. Am I crazy for spending $12,000 on a secret rare Spider-Man?
No.
Only $12,000.
You're asking the wrong people.
$12,000? Crazy.
You're not financial advice.
I'll tell you this coming from a pure collector standpoint. Again, Uncle Jeremy here, also a big collector. When you look at the Grail items in any particular category, there tends to be a pretty specific audience for that Grail item, and it tends to really, really over the course of time,
this dude
some of the best
$12,000
performing within any portfolio.
Crazy.
So you see that in cards. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example: a 1952 Topps PSA 10 Mickey Mantle in the year 1999 sold for $250,000. Today, it's a $40 million card.
Wow.
Again, there's absolutely zero from the financial. There's no promises. There's no guarantees. A platform has to remain relevant. But I've personally rarely seen a platform that has this much community attachment. So yeah, Grails are always something that I specifically look towards and look to try to acquire.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I just got my mint number is so cool. It's 0862, which was apparently the 15th issue, which was the first time that Spider-Man came out, which was in August 1962.
There you go.
Oh wow,
It's so cool, so cool. But yeah, I'm so excited for the future. You guys are awesome. Thank you for having me.
man.
Thanks, Andre.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Andre.
Yeah, and drop
that
the
is
videos
crazy,
soon.
yo.
If you guys
Nice.
want to talk, let me know. I'd love to
Lord.
know any kind of info. Sign NDAs or whatever. I want to be a part of it.
Awesome.
Keep
Yeah.
out of the inside scoop, Dave. Watch out.
All right, you guys. Take care.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you, Andre.
Appreciate it.
All right. So with that, we have lots covered still. Master Collector Program. How about that?
Yeah, how about that?
Yes, I just had a video about this. You haven't watched my Master Collective Program video?
How do we want to kick this
Definitely
off?
check it
Do
out.
you want to give like a high-level overview of
Definitely
what
check it.
went
I
into it,
just
Dan,
posted a
and,
video about this.
You know,
Yeah.
the reason why
Let's
it
go.
was delayed. Me.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, as anyone who has read the MCP article
Mhm.
can probably understand that, you know, we have spent a lot of time
This right here.
working through it to make sure that they're, you know, it's not just a very high level simple system. You know, Veve has a lot of complexity in it, you know, without the Master Collector. And obviously there's various different collectibles and different rarities and low mints and all that kind of thing. So we wanted to make sure that the MCP was a very robust program, and a program that had depth, and also a program that would have multiple routes to securing points. You know, whether you want to go down the set path or the collectible path, or the you know, the different rarities. So I'd just like to thank everyone for their patience. I have seen quite a lot of videos. Foster Hilt, I watched yours. I thought it was very cool. So thank you for your objective viewpoint of everything that you reviewed. And so the, you know, really like I say, the program has been designed to be fairly robust and to have quite a lot of depth to it. And I was joking to Dave, I think the day before we dropped the article, that I was saying to David, you know, give it 2 days and there'll be spreadsheets out and all that kind of thing. But boy, was I wrong. I think it was 2 hours, and then someone had put, I think, what was it, Veve set list? Well done to whoever put that together.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing the speed of which you know, people like
Rebel Duck, I think, came out with something.
Rebel Duck had his breakdown. So it's great to see that stuff from the community. Now, obviously, as you guys will know from the 2 massive bold disclaimers in the MCP, this is our first iteration. And, you know, like everything, we love to get community feedback. And we try to take the Master Collector program, or whatever we develop, as far as we can and try to make it as polished as possible. But there is always feedback from the community. And that is why we like to put these articles out, so you guys can actually, you know, come back to us with what you like, what you don't like, what does work, what doesn't work. And so today is really an opportunity to, you know, just jump in and ask some questions. 2 things that I will kick off. I know that there is a lot of sentiment of some sort around secret rares. And I'd just like to say that, you know, we have put a lot of thought into how this program works. It wasn't written the day before that it went out. There has been significant amounts of modelling to make sure that the system is fair across the board. And that means it's fair if someone purchased a secret rare for $7 or they purchased it for $10,000. There's been a lot of thought and a lot of calculation gone into the numbers. So I am looking at potentially revising the secret rare number. However, as you know, some of you guys that I've spoken to in the community, it is a very fine balance, and we need to make sure that we are taking into account every variable and every factor that we can, so not to you know, bloat the system in one particular area, or ensure that the system can't be abused in any way. So so that was the first point, and then the second point was around the wagering of points in the drop lottery. And to be honest, I went back and forth with quite a lot of the team members as to whether we, if you take part in the drop lottery, whether you win or not, your points are currently spent. So there was a lot of back and forth internally, and we really liken it to, it is a lottery. If I go and buy a lotto ticket today and I don't win the $10 million, I can't turn up to the lotto shop and just say, hey, I didn't win, so can you give me back my $10? Mm-hmm. So again, there was a lot of thought and a lot of modeling going into this. And I think one other thing to consider, and I think I also heard this on Foster's video, which is that the drop lottery is a high risk, high reward. You have the opportunity to guarantee.
No, gotta go back
on how much you wager, and that is the risk, that is the game. However, in saying that, we are revisiting the model just to see if that will still continue to work. For the time being, that's how it's going to remain. But obviously, I love to hear the feedback that's out there in the community. And again, I applaud the people who put the videos out within hours of that. I sort of anticipated that my Saturday morning I'd get up and watch some video, but no, it was like lunchtime Friday, there was already stuff out.
Yeah, that bit shouldn't surprise you at all. Maybe we'll just take a moment to remind people as well. I know it's in that article, but for the drop lottery, that is for an allocation of collectibles. It's not, the lottery doesn't run for the entire drop, and you have to wager to participate. You will still be able to participate in the drops exactly the same way as we do now.
And that as well, you have to be very strategic on what you're putting all your points, wagering all your points on.
Right, you got to know what you're...
This isn't going to be something where the whales can automatically just bid or wager the most points every time. They have to be strategic about it. And if they wager all their points and they don't get it, or if they get it, then they kind of start from zero, or however many they wagered, right? So trying to spread it out. Yeah. But with that said, I was wanting to start to get to the community because we've already kind of been on for an hour here. I know I'm going to pull up a few that I know have questions, have reached out to me with questions, or have sent questions in that I think that would be just better vocalized vocally.
Ready for the juicy question. Juicy question.
And turn that over then to Jailmite, who is well known in the community as one of our senior mods, and has really kind of helped shape this as just as much as Noah or I have with the in general, kind of like asking the right questions, and then we would go and kind of tweak those some of those, that wording and things like that. So appreciate you, Jeremiah. Thank you very much for being on stage with us.
Appreciate you.
I actually have two questions. The first one is about the Masters Collectors program. First of all, every time I read it, I get more excited about it. That's gross. But the question I have was regarding the rank system. Fire. It says that for the first 6 people, they get a free subscription to Master Collector Pro. Right. My question is, what if you are ranking number 7, you pay for the subscription, and then the next day you're ranked number 6? How does that work? And the follow-up question to that is, what if you're number 6, and then you go back to 7, how long do you get to keep your Master Collector Pro status?
Right. GMI, you may need to reread that section, or maybe we need to rewrite it. But it's not actually the first 6 people. It's the top 6 ranks. So out of the 23 ranks, that would be the 17 upwards, if my math is correct, which probably isn't. Those people who are in the top 6 ranks, which could potentially be thousands of people, they will be given free access to MCP Pro. For the reason being is that, if you are a top rank user, then you obviously are a very strong collector, and you're obviously very strong usage within the app. And for us, we just want to reward those people for being such a big part of the Veve platform.
Which is very thoughtful.
But do they lose the rank? Like, let's say you are part of the top 6 rank, and then let's say the next day the new points gets flowed in and the rank's updated, and that person that was in the 6th rank drops down to number 7. Do they automatically lose their pro status?
Yes, they will.
And that happens over a 24-hour period, like every day when it updates?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay. My second question is actually from the Discord community, something that came up that I wanted to ask. So with the move to Immutable X, does it change the status that, let's say, Todd Batman, it's being reminted on Immutable X? Does he lose the status of being the first NFT because it's being reminted again?
That's a good question.
And the original one on the Go chain is removed?
No. We'll be doing everything we can to retain. Obviously, we are reminting. But in terms of the drop date, the metadata that comes with it, Batman number 100 will always be known as the OG Batman.
That's awesome, because that's my favorite collector.
Awesome. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Prop. What's up, Prop?
What's going on, brother?
What's good, Prop?
Hi, David. Hi, Reese. Hi, Dan. Nice to speak with you guys. Congratulations on this accomplishment. Absolutely massive. I see there's probably the biggest thing in contention from the Master Collector program amongst users is what you mentioned, whether or not the secret rare collectibles, whether it be comics or the statue collectibles, are have a high enough point reward to them. And I honestly personally think that you guys really did put a tremendous amount of thought into it, and I don't think it was as inconsiderate as some people are saying.
Thank you.
I do know that you have kept in mind people or the users who don't have much of an advantage as some people who have unlimited amounts of money, right? And I really respect that, and I think that there is something to be said about aspiring to advance, and things to not just be sort of too easy or given to you. With that said, I think I just wanted to ask: is one of the maybe perhaps the solution to that is maybe to have a milestone bonus for holding secret rares, or maybe only secret rares? So if you maybe hold it for every 30 days, there's an extra bonus to that, which will incentivize holding it longer, actually, rather than flipping it, which makes it even a bit harder to get, rather than just giving it an extra 2-3 points, which could be something that could easily solve it and mend everyone together there. I also had a really interesting thought brought up last night in a Twitter space about FAs and first appearances and the value of collectibles from season 1 to season 2. And I was wondering if you guys considered giving, and I know this is early on and it's the first draft, but have you also considered giving an extra bonus on first appearance collectibles or first edition collectibles?
Thanks, Prop, for the great question. So just to address the last one, there won't be daily points for FAs or CEs. However, there will be badges. And when you earn a badge, that badge gives you points. And badges will have multiple different levels. Like you see in most popular games now, you might get FA badge number 1, potentially right up to FA badge number 10. And each time you get one of those badges, you will get some points around it. We do need to be a little bit careful about making the system even more complex than it is now. Like I say, we spent a lot of time getting the balance right, and that's really the main emphasis around the points that we have given, in the sense that we need to make sure that somebody new coming into the app doesn't feel like they are completely out of reach of working their way up the levels. Right. And we need to make sure that those people who are already the higher level are getting an advantage for what they're holding. But to address your first question, I would actually just like to really go back and take a step back and just remember that these points are really nothing but a small side feature, a gamification feature in the app to make the app a little bit more enjoyable. And of course, so you can flex over your mates. Oh, you're only a level 100. What a loser. We just need to make sure that, the joy and the value is in the collectible itself. I mean, I'm not going to go and buy a secret rare because I'm going to get extra 0.5 points per day. I mean, that's not how we should be thinking about this. You're buying that SR because, number one, you're one of 250 people in the world who owns that. There is massive value in that alone. And in addition to that, you're holding a collectible that looks amazing and is highly coveted by many other people, and in most cases has a higher monetary value. Those points are really the core when it comes to thinking about a collectible. So I know there are a lot of very passionate people out there about the MCP, but I think I just want to remind you that this is just an extra feature in the app. It's not the be-all and end-all of SRs. And in fact, my opinion is that, I saw some of the SRs going for cheaper in the market. I mean, I hope a lot of people snap them up because there were people making very rash decisions based on a tiny feature in the app that's coming out. So that's my position on it at the moment. Like I say, we've done a lot of modeling to get the balance right overall. However, we, of course, take feedback from the community, but please don't expect that there are going to be significant amount of points for an SR because it will literally throw the model out, and ultimately it will become a game of whoever has the most money is going to win, and that is absolutely not our ethos at Veve, which is why we sell collectibles from $13 upward. We're not selling things for sort of 5 or 10 grand. So there are so many factors that come into play when building out something like the MCP. And I can absolutely appreciate and understand that when this model comes out, a lot of people are more than likely seeing it and interpreting it based on their own collection. But that's obviously something that we can't do on our side. This needs to be a holistic, ubiquitous system that is designed to help everyone, whether you're a beginner or whether you're a master collector, get through the ranks and levels.
Well said. Thank you, Dan. I do believe that will be the prevailing sentiment. Thank you so much for pointing that out. Thank you.
Thanks, Rob. So on that note, we have a pillar of the comic collector community with us on stage. So
comic collector community.
Wouldn't mind offering your counterpoint to this, because I know you've been pretty vocal about this the last day or so.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me, Veve fam. And massive thank you to Dan. Dan actually reached out to me and we had a really good conversation last night regarding this topic. So there's actually two schools of thought. The school of thought one is that only the rich people and the whales will prevail. That's not the case, because I'm not rich and I'm not a whale. A lot of the people in our community have decided to sell off their collectibles to get comic books. Okay, so they've decided that they liked the comic book better, so they've concentrated on that. Like Dan said earlier, there should be various routes to the Master Collector program. First of all, I love the program. The only thing I was against was the valuation of Secret Rare comics. You should not be getting 0.5 more points for the Secret Rare comics as for a common. So with that being said, that's all I want to see. I want to see people to have that option to become a Master Collector, whether they want to focus on collectibles or comic books. And with that being said, by doing that, it'll be better for the ecosystem, because by giving Secret Rare comic book collectors just a little more points than 1.5, it'll be that awesome incentive for them to hold it. Because otherwise, like we're seeing right now, they'll just dump them and buy collectibles like me. Like, I love my Marvel Comics 1 Secret Rare. I love my Kang. But, I mean, if it meant that much to other people, they would just sell it right now, cash in their 20K gems, and just buy collectibles instead. And that's not what I want to see. I actually these are so hard to obtain on drop. They're so hard to buy in the market that the people actually that sold their collectibles to get that special item and they want to hold it, to some extent should be rewarded to the point where they also can become a master collector. So, I mean, like me, I love comic books.
I don't know about that. My head exploded
when we got comic books. My head's exploding now that we're getting Star Wars. And at the end of the day, we've gotten to that point where we have so much stuff incoming that people are only going to collect what they want to collect.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I appreciate the conversation that we had last night. Obviously, you are a pillar in the comic book community, so it's very valuable to hear your feedback. And like I said, it is something that we are taking, we are reviewing. And like I say, we just have to be careful that it doesn't blow the model out. But I would like to touch on something that you said, which is that people are selling their collectibles to buy the comics they want. And that is and always has to be the core of why you're collecting. And I think I can just tell the audience now, if you're collecting for points, you're doing this thing the whole wrong way.
Right.
I mean, yes, you will get some advantage for points, but we're a collectibles business, and ultimately that's where, like I mentioned just before, where the value, etc., comes in. But those are really appreciated your feedback. It was great to get your insights from yourself and the other people you were talking to. So.
Totally. And it wasn't just me. Like yesterday I was driving and my freaking phone just started blowing up with texts from a bunch of random members of the community. And I'm like, what the hell? So I started checking. And like once I saw what they were, concerned about, I'm like, okay, I could see that being a problem. One common comic, 1 point, secret rare, 1.5. I could see that being some issue. Like I said, I don't think any of these people are asking for like 50 points for secret rare. Just something more, more in the line of a set that's harder to complete. Like the other more difficult sets to complete. That's how difficult it is to obtain a secret rare on some of these.
Reese, I think you suggested 0.501 points, didn't you?
He's like,
throw me under the bus.
You're okay. No, that was me. I was just joking about that. Thank you for the feedback. 100%. I mean, that's exactly why we put these articles out, because we want to hear from people in the community. It is a complex model, and maybe there are some things that we might have brushed over a bit too lightly on, or one of the specific routes isn't yielding quite as much as another route. Thank you. We will be doing another deep dive into it.
Awesome, Dan. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot for reaching out to me last night. That actually meant a lot to me. And thanks for having me on, Alex.
Crazy.
Of course.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much. Let's move on to Sparky.
Hi, thank you. All right.
She's been waiting to talk.
I just had 2 questions, and the first one was more clarification on what you said earlier. We do all know that Todd is like the first Batman and all that, but when it is reminted, is it gonna hold the respective dates, or is it on the minted date of Immutable?
That is something I will need to check with the developers. So let me circle back on that one.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. And then do you have an ETA on Showroom 2.0?
Now, Showroom 2.0 is looking amazing, and I'm actually going to be posting some videos of both the new showroom and also the new empty space showroom on my Twitter this week. Basically, everything's ready to go. Now, my only kind of concern, which, we've, and of course I learn all of my concerns by mistake, is that is quite a big update to the app going in. And that is going to be happening right before Disney and right before DCon. So from my perspective, I just need to make sure that the timing is right, because I wouldn't want any issues or any problems in the app that might disadvantage people from getting, from taking part in those drops. So thank you for hanging tight, everyone. I know the new showroom looks so beautiful. I mean, I almost feel like cool. I feel a little bit of vomit come up in my throat when I go back into the showroom V1. So it is a massive update. And the empty showroom has got some really cool features. I can't remember if I touched on this last time, but basically what you can do in this empty space, so as you probably all gathered, there's no walls or a gallery showroom around it. You're just in this kind of grid, what would be like a Tron kind of area. And then you can place all of your collectibles, move them around, scale them as you normally do. But when you place those collectibles in AR, we have a new feature that we've added in called Move Set or Move Group. And what this allows you to do is, let's say you've spent a couple of hours setting up all of your collectibles in a really beautiful layout, and you want to drop those collectibles in AR, but have them all positioned somewhere. Like you might want to put it on a shelf. Maybe you can do it all together at once. Now, what would be extremely painful, and I think what people have had to do up to now, is move each of those collectibles individually.
Yes, so
but now with the new Move Set feature, you can basically turn on Move Set, and then that will allow you to scale, rotate, move all of the collectibles in that scene in one go. So I'm very excited to see what people are going to do once we start to get this empty space showroom out. Awesome. And we can start seeing some really cool collectible dioramas in AR.
Yeah.
I think all the Voltaholics will be happy
Just
with
a
that.
touch point. I've been waiting for the showroom 2.0 for so long.
Not the vault.
I made my own room, which I'm gonna put on my Instagram of my showroom 2.0 tonight. It's a special preview.
Oh,
Okay.
Special preview. Okay.
Wait,
Special preview.
Are you trying to trump my preview on Twitter next week?
Yes.
I'm gonna post mine
All
now.
right, well, maybe we should have a little competition. Let's put up a vote. Who's got the best showroom?
So please do stand by. My 2.0 long-awaited showroom coming.
I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we're about to get used.
You're about to get you for sure. It's gonna be a shoebox or something.
all right. Let's move on to Austin. What's up, Austin?
Hey guys, how's it going? Love everything you guys are doing. Congratulations again. So I know how some of the community is feeling about the MCP. I feel like a lot of people are struggling getting drops, right? So they think it's an opportunity to use this lottery to their utmost advantage to get on the drop. So that leads me to my question, because I know a lot of people say they hustled and they worked hard, which is true, but they're fortunate to be early, right, to the game. Now, when you buy a collectible, it shoots up to like $1,000 or $700 for an ultra rare, right? So my worry is the small fish and the whales. I know people don't like talking about it, but I don't mind talking about it. Like in gaming, let's say Apex Legends, I don't know if you guys played that game, they have a ranking mode. And in that mode, you fight up against your own rank. And so what worries me about the lottery is, let's say I want Darth Vader, because who doesn't? So I put all my lottery tickets in to try to get a Darth Vader. And let's say 100 whales or 1,000 whales do the same. Well, they're automatically going to outbeat me, right? And then someone made a good point before saying, okay, well, they took Darth Vader for sure. Maybe you can go for Yoda when it comes up. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of a losing game. So that's why I thought, like, if we're already in a rank system, wouldn't it make sense to battle your own rank? Or another idea I was thinking about is if we had like a 50% against 50%. So you said there's 23 ranks, so let's say 12 against 11. So the top between, let's say 12 to 1 and then 13 to 23
I'm getting tired,
would
y'all.
be part of the lottery system, and then you would battle between there. Yeah, that was my idea for that point. I have a lot more. So
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, obviously, the points expire after 6 months, right? So that mechanism is designed to force people to spend them. But with the amount of drops and content coming, I personally don't think that that's going to be much of an issue. Dan, did you want to weigh in?
Yeah, I would say the same thing as well. That, you know, as people who have been around for the past 6 months, you know, you all know that our drop frequency has rapidly gone up, much to my own detriment. But it is, and that is something we're more than likely going to anticipate happening in 2022, where there will be more and more drops. And the reason for this is purely that, you know, we are bringing on different types of collectible content. And I think moving into the future, you know, people are going to have to pick and choose what they want. And while I agree that, you know, something like Darth Vader or Yoda are going to be very, very popular items, I think we're going to start seeing people more picking and choosing what they want. Now, there will always be whales. That's normal in any, even in the physical collectible world. I mean, I know a whale. His name's David Yu. He just goes in and buys. But you did raise a good point, which I had considered quite carefully, which is, you know, potentially breaking the drop lottery up into the different tiers. However, you know, I think there's many different variables that we need to consider, and that is that I could be a new user and I could be ranked number 2, but, you know, I might have a ton of cash sitting in my bank. So, you know, it's not necessarily that the rank is going to specifically help you out, but I will revisit that again as a potential option. However, Reese also touched on the fact that points expire. You know, so we know that people have to use points, and we also know that when you wager your points, they are gone. So I think the way that the modeling has worked is that we can anticipate that when we first roll out the Master Collector program and all of the points are retroactively applied, there is going to be whales out there who will spend massive amounts of points to acquire what they want. But once those points are gone, they then need to rebuild those points, and that will give people the opportunity who may not have as much as they would have at that time of that drop, but by the next drop rolls around, you may actually end up having more than that whale, because these points, they are designed to be spent, they're designed to expire for that exact reason, to add some balance into it. So yes, I could come in as a whale and spend all 2 million of my points, or however many I've got, to secure a drop. But once those points are gone, I then need to rebuild my points at the daily point level. So there is a degree of fairness and balance in the current model. One of the things
what
to
if you just want to build up the points?
The idea of the drop lottery is that there are collectors out there, and I'm sure there are many on the call right now, who literally want to get certain types of rarities or certain specific characters, and they are what we call our super collectors, or quote unquote the David Hughes of our audience. And ultimately these are the guys who complete all of the sets, they buy all of the collectibles, and so we also feel that if you are one of those people, we want to show you a bit of kudos or a bit of kindness to say thank you for being a part, such an active part in our community, and that is why they are getting more points, because of everything they own. So we please be rest assured that we have considered all. Well, okay, I won't say all. I'll say 98% of the factors involved, and that was one of the reasons why the MCP took so long to come out, was to make sure that we could have something balanced. But I thank you for your first suggestion, Austin. I'll revisit the multi-tier drop and just see how complicated that gets. You had another question?
Yeah, I have two short ones. I know someone who in the community was thinking he just wants Veve versus land and that's it, right? And it sucks for him because he's planning on just to hold his points as long as possible, but that if he loses all his points in 6 months, it's kind of upsetting to him, because his whole goal is to buy Veve versus land, right? Which I don't blame him. I would do the same.
I'll just stop you there. At this point in time, no one has ever said or ever published that points will get you land. So I think we've got to be very careful about the assumptions that we make and the assumptions that we hear. To qualify for land is going to be something almost equally as complex. It's not just going to be a one-dimensional, that guy gets it because he's got the most points. There's going to be many factors involved. So, we've got to be very careful about making assumptions that haven't been published by Veve.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. My last point was the comics. I've seen people are kind of upset they're not getting as much love regarding the MCP. And my suggestion, you guys do whatever you will. I was thinking if the rare got 0.4, ultra rare got 0.6, and then secret rare get 1, I feel like that would provide a lot more of assurance to buy those comic books. But yeah, those are all it. Thank you for your time.
Cool, appreciate that. And yeah, like I say, we will go back and revisit the points for the SRs.
Great. Sam.
Hello, how's everyone doing?
Well, thank
you.
Well, so first thing I just wanted to say was just a massive congratulations for what you guys have been able to achieve. I got involved back in March, never even heard of an NFT before, and now I can't even imagine my life without them. So it's just been incredible to watch all of
the
you.
way he stopped him
sort of
when he was talking about the points for Veve Land, that's hilarious.
Favorite fandoms into the world and bring it through the medium of NFTs. I'm incredibly excited to be a part of this vision. I'm excited to be on this space. I think it's an incredibly historic moment for Veve. Marvel was huge. Having the whole portfolio of Disney is just mind blowing, and I've just got to give props to you all. You inspire me daily to continue to push hard in my own goals, and it's an honour to be on this space tonight.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So my question. Okay, so I'm sort of a big collector of min numbers. It's no secret. It's one of my favourite things to do. It's become a huge passion of mine. What I'm asking today is, first of all, it's just a bit of a clarity on one of the things that I read. So it's the 151st mint that gets sort of the added bonus. Does that start from the 40 of the public mint, or does that start from 1 to 150, or is that 40 to 190?
That would be 40 to 149. However, I was discussing it with the team this morning, and we might look to up that number. So, but potentially, and this is not confirmation, maybe to up it to maybe 250 or 300. I think there has to be a cutoff point at some area. If you manage to get a 500 or 600, it is low overall, but the idea of, there are people out there who collect sub 100s and sub 150s, and those are often difficult to get because often the price, and people don't often want to give them up.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. We all have our different collecting goals, and for me, going for lower mints has its own value, and just to see you even be acknowledged within the Master Collection program is pretty cool to see. And the second question I was going to ask was, I guess it is more to reference maybe potentially incorporating some more areas of mints. I think it would be an interesting idea to share with you guys. Something I was thinking about earlier was potentially maybe instead of having daily recurring mint number, recurring points for lower mints, even though it's a great idea, maybe for 2,000 and lower or 3,000 and lower, have like a weekly where maybe you get a 0.2 and sort of to encourage.
Let's calm
down. I think there's a lot of people that have different collecting goals with mint numbers. I know specifically for me, I talk to people every single day about mint numbers. I mean, it's literally taken over my life. And so, yeah, I mean, it's literally like a huge part of I enjoy it. I enjoy doing it. It's a massive passion area for me. But it's just interesting to see and speak to different people. Like you say, some people do go for the sub 100s, but I have people, even in my household that go for sub 3,000, sub 2,000. So maybe it might be cool. I don't know. It'd be a cool idea to share with you guys, just to, even if it's just a weekly, maybe 0.2 per, just something I just thought it'd be an idea to share with you guys.
Makes sense, though, but
my only objection with that is that we're then directing people to specific collectibles as opposed to completing sets. It's kind of encouraging that. Yeah, I mean, it could work.
No, I actually agree with you. It is true. I mean, obviously, I've counter-questioned it in my own head before. I was like, there is obviously caveats to it. I agree with you. I just thought it might be an interesting thing to share with you all. But, like I say, it's just a pleasure to be up here and to even be invited. So, like I said, they're my questions. Thank you for having me, and what an honour to be a part of such a historic moment for Veve. Congratulations to you all.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Dan.
And thanks for all.
Yeah, really appreciate that. Now, just to touch on your question, I absolutely did scope out, different tiers of low mints, and I think just remember that once the program is developed and rolled out, it's not locked in stone. We may decide at some point that we're going to add a daily bonus for sub 1,000 or sub 2,000s. We just need to be a little bit careful in the beginning. The system is already quite complex, so I think we want to get it out, make sure it's working, check all the numbers, make sure it's all on track as to what we thought. And then after that, we can always look to add new things. Even with the badges, offer a huge opportunity as well. And who knows, maybe one day even a badge, if you manage, like for example, let's say there's a royal flush badge because you've got a set with consecutive numbers. There might be a badge for that, and potentially there could be certain badges that will give a daily recurring point. So I think let's just remember this is first iteration. I think it covers, I won't say 98% anymore, I'll say it covers 90% of what people were expecting. And even though there's been a lot of negative sentiment out there, overall the MCP is actually pretty damn cool. It is a bit disappointing to see so much sort of negative stuff about a small part of it. when there is so much to celebrate about the overall program. And, the reason we're on this call today is so we can get your feedback, and it's the reason we do put these articles out. So,
well, I have to say, just quickly, just to let you guys know, my personal opinion on it is you guys have done an incredible job with the Master Collection Program. I was just incorporating and sharing a few little ideas. I love what you've done. I love what you've been able to achieve with it. And I think what you've been able to do in incorporating balance, I think it's so important that we remember this, and I think you guys know that completely, that the balance system, so everyone has that fair playing ground to be able to do what they love and not have to be incorporated just around money, but around their fandoms and things they enjoy. I just got to give props to you all. I mean, it was a really fun read and a very exciting, it's been a very exciting week. So thank you for having me again. Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Sam. I'm going to move ahead to a couple of questions from Twitter, and then we'll get back to the stage. So, Moji, Foster, just give me a few minutes here. Brother Jagamus.
Y'all, this is awesome, but
I have all of the
I'm going to have
Spider-Man
to
issues.
Listen to this off
8 points
stream.
A day. If I have
I'm going to have to listen to this off stream, y'all. Yep. I'm going to have to listen to this off stream. So, look. You guys heard it. All right. Gave you guys a whole bunch of information about the Master Collectors Program, what the vision is, and all of that stuff. Ignore what my screen looks like right now. Y'all, like I told you, this is my first time using, my second time now using OBS. I'm still very, very new. Obviously, the more I do it, the more the editing and everything like that is going to get better. But yes, super excited about the Master Collectors Program with Veve. Like, stop playing. This is crazy. So you guys heard it. That's what's going on. I'm very, very excited for the future of Veve. I'm gonna have to head back and listen to the rest of this, to the rest of it here, of the live stream. Not the live stream. The community chat on the Twitter space. So make sure to follow them, and also make sure to follow me. All my social media is right here. All my social media is down below. Follow my Twitter, Instagram, and my Snapchat as well. Ask me questions, whatever you want to know. And I got you guys. All right. So thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys later. Peace out.